Hey everybody, it's Chris from Food Truck Pastor, and I'm getting ready to do one of these unboxing videos. And in these two boxes are baseball cards from the 80s and early 90s, which are the only baseball cards that matter. And I'm going to use this heirloom fishing knife. Isn't that cool? It's all dirty and dilapidated. And I'm going to use it to open the first box. And I'm not sure which collection is in here. So we're going to see. I forget exactly which ones I bought, but we're going to find out together. Always want to use the knife away from you. Oops. Oh my goodness. Here we go. This is a set of 1987 Topps cards. And if you know anything about 80s baseball cards, you know that 1987 Topps are the best. Because they look like your grandparents' basement. Here's what I mean by that. Oh man, this is so good. Oh, I can't even tell you how happy this makes me. Do these not look like the paneling in everybody's grandparents' basement? There's Dave Righetti. That's a mustache on Jerry Reed. Danny Cox also sporting the mustache. Who can forget Kurt Stillwell? Tim Burke. Mookie! That's coming out. Mookie Wilson. Joel Skinner. That one's from my cousin, Mookie Wilson. Big 86 Mets fan. Because he was 5 years old and didn't know any better. Oh! Are you getting this? Oh, this is getting framed. This could even be... Oh, not quite a rookie. He'd been in the league 2 years. It was close, though. Darren Dalton. Dutch, number 10. My favorite catcher. Domingo Rejos. Alpolino. You know, looking at these now, so many years removed, it's amazing how far into the 80s the 70s facial hair persisted. Tom Lawless. Oh, I see behind here an Oakland A's card, and I'm hoping it's Ricky Henderson. Is it? Is it? No, it's not. It's Mickey Tettleton. Often mistaken for Ricky Henderson. Hubie Brooks, Kevin. That is a great action shot. That's some pretty advanced graphic art for 1987. Wouldn't you say? I would say. Terry Forster. Oh. Rangers leaders. Team leaders. Tom Waddle, Mr. Lopez, Bob Horner, Lou Whitaker. I had a lot of Lou Whitaker cards growing up. Cliff Johnson, Rod Scurry, Vaughn, number 9 on the Phillies, and Juan Samuel was number 8. Maybe I'll get Juan Samuel. Juan Bonilla, any relation to Bobby Bonilla? I don't know. Chili Davis, one of the great names in baseball. Ed Romero. Charlie Moore, I'm pretty sure, taught the gifted class at a public school in New York City on head of the class. This is Carney Lansford. I'm going to just keep that out because his name is Carney. Kent Herbeck. George Bell. Had a lot of George Bell cards back in the day. Jerry Roos. Jerry Hairston. Frank White. Chico. You guys remember Chico? I remember Chico Walker. Ed Lynch. Ernie Witt, Ken LeDrew, not to be confused with Chris Ledoux, Dave Bergman, Willie Randolph. I had a lot of Willie Randolph cards back in the day, too. Scott McGregor. I'll give this to my friend who's an Orioles fan. Dave Kingman. Gary Gaetti. That was another big name back in the day. Heard a lot about Gary Gaetti. Don Robinson. Tom Brookins. Rick Leach. Ed Vandenberg. Richard Dotson. Tom Herr, Bob Nepper, sporting a nice 1986 era Astros uniform. Now it's not the well. Look at the stripes. Even the stripes were multicolored on the side. That's pretty impressive. Brett Butler, Frank Tanana, Mike Moore, Charlie Moore's son, Eric Show, Dave Concepcion, Bill Caudill. His name rhymes. Steve Bedrosian. Can you guys tell I'm a Phillies fan? His nickname was Bedrock, and he and Jeff Parrott, who hopefully is also in this set, not Jeff Parrott. They were the Phillies relievers, and they were called the Firemen. Remember when the relievers were called Firemen back in the day? Steve Bedrosian's coming out of the deck. Floyd Bannister, Chet Lemon, Andy McGaffigan, Roy Smalley, Glenn Hubbard, Bob Ojeda, Mike Flanagan. I'll give that to my friend. Garth Eorg, Luis Agallo, Joel Youngblood. That's a good name. Mike Witt. Now, I haven't shown the back of these cards just yet. Check out the back of these cards. If you were a kid when I was a kid and you collected baseball cards, you know what I'm talking about with these. Don played Little League, Colt League, and American Legion ball. He and his wife have 2 children. Isn't that... And look, Topps Chewing Gum ink. This is all you needed in a baseball card. You had the paneling on the front. You had the excellent mustache. You had this huge glove. You had this nice color scheme with every team's logo right up on the left-hand corner. And then you had this nice blue on yellow on cardboard thing going on the back. And that's all you needed. These cards are in very good condition for being 30 years old. Steve Sachs, we heard a lot about him when we were collecting as kids. Chris Chambliss, Jack Morris, Andre Thornton, Willie Wilson. Manager. I love the manager cards. I love the just nice little script there. Manager. Dan Schatzeder? Don't know who he was. Lance Parrish. Now, Lance Parrish is one of those interesting conversations people have about, is he a Hall of Famer or is he not? As a catcher, he was one of the most productive offensive catchers in that era. He's got great stats. He was a longtime Detroit Tigers catcher, obviously, but was also a Philly. I'm not sure when he was a Philly. I think it must have been 87, 88. It was only for a year or two that he was a Philly. So that's how I know what I know about Lance Parrish, apart from just following baseball in the 80s. Oh, here we have the checklist. Cards 661 through 792. There we go. We have the checklist. So I have quite a few of these. Phil Niekro is on there. So we can get a Phil Niekro card. Most consecutive strikeouts at the start of a game. An 86 record breaker card. Look at that. That's a nice little way of noting his accomplishments. He's got that cool Astros warm-up jacket on and that old Houston H. Jim DeShays. Indians leaders. Who were the Indians leaders in 1986? You may have guessed Joe Carter, and Joe Carter. Brett Butler, Joe Carter. Brett Butler, Pat Tabler. Scott Bailey's, Tom Candiotti, and Ernie Camacho. Now, Joe Carter, I don't like to talk about because when he played for the Blue Jays in 1993, you know what he did to Mitch Williams. So, I'm not... Ooh, Dave Stewart. This is a keeper. I was a big Dave Stewart fan. One of the most imposing relievers back in the day. Well, not even a reliever, a pitcher. I was thinking of Eck as a reliever, but he was a starting pitcher. And, strong guy. Tony Walker. Joe Cali sporting the best White Sox logo uniform combination they ever had. Rick Dempsey, that'll go to my friend. Marvell Wynn, Dennis Leonard, Dennis Powell. They probably hated being in class together. Dennis P. and Dennis L. Dave Smith. This is the uniform that the Astros wore when I met Ken Caminetti and got his autograph back in the day. Scott Nielsen. Ken Daly. He's taking a knee. He's just chilling. Bobby Meacham from the Yankees. Fred Tolliver. This is my favorite Phillies uniform too. It's a close call between this and the Whiz Kids era uniform, but this is the one I grew up with in the 80s, and this is the one I love the best. Look at that P. It's just perfect. Harry Spillman. Mark Sullivan. Bill Swift, one of the greatest names in baseball. Can't go wrong with that. Oh my gosh, followed by the greatest name in baseball, Charlie Huff. Charlie Huff. The original Jamie Moyer. Charlie Huff Your name was Charlie Huff. You were a million years old. And I didn't know growing up if your name was really Charlie Huff or that was like sort of like a comparison to Pete Rose being Charlie Hustle because you were huffing and puffing because you were a million years old. I mean, look at this. They had to do a different font size for your career because of how old you were. You'd been in the league 17 years by then, and you still had probably 5 more years in you if I had to guess. But that's how they rock it from Brea, California. You were drafted in 1966. I don't even know if this is your whole career. Did you spend 4 years in the minors? I'm not sure. But good for you. Good for you. You were born in Honolulu, Hawaii. I did not know that. Charlie Huff, the greatest name in baseball. I'm going to keep you out because you're cool. Mike Aldrete. Aldrete? Look at that face. He's just like he knows it. Look how handsome that guy is. Is that Rob Lowe? And then we have Joe Cowley. Don't remember Joe Cowley very much at all. That's the first pack. There are 3 more packs. I'll do a second and a third and a fourth video so you guys can enjoy this with me. Bye for now.